the concern that I have is that sometimes, unfortunately, that there are more considerations given to a criminal justice case than just the facts of the case. Unfortunately, sometimes a person is guilty until proven innocent. As a state representative who took his oath and swore to uphold the Constitution of the United States and the Texas Constitution, I formally and firmly believe that the Constitution provides everyone the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that all men should be judged equally, regardless of their race, regardless of their socioeconomic status in life. And sometimes, unfortunately, race plays a factor in the decisions that are made in the criminal justice system. And so I'm here to speak life, not just from the experience that I had with my own personal case, but for the many other people of color that encounter the criminal justice system, that aren't an elected official, that don't have a platform, that don't have the kind of resources that I have to hire great attorneys like Vivian King and Stephen Jackson to represent me and defend me against charges. And so my point of this press conference today is to say that I'm thankful for my supporters, those who believed in me, those who re-elected me to serve and be their voice. And I'm here today to say that I am giving voice to everybody, not just myself, but those who are incarcerated. There are many people, unfortunately, that are innocent, that are serving time for crimes they did not commit. And I'm here to give voice to those people that have been victims of the criminal justice system. And it's my hope, and it's my belief that if the citizens will be more engaged, more involved, to exercise their civic duty and serving on juries, and exercising their right to vote, and making sure that they elect people who represent their interests, people that are fair and impartial, making sure that they elect prosecutors that don't selectively target individuals because of partisan politics or because of their race. In this case, I have always maintained from the very beginning that I believe that these charges were brought against me because of partisan politics. I am a Democrat state representative, and I have brought charges against me in a very conservative jurisdiction, one of the most conservative jurisdictions in the state of Texas and the entire nation. One of the counties that African Americans make up less than 4% of the total population. And so it's always been my belief that this was never about barratry, which I didn't commit barratry. And my counsel has told me not to talk too much about the facts of the case, and I'm going to listen to her on that. But if you go back and look at the transcript and you look at the evidence, that was proof that I didn't commit barratry, and the jury found me not guilty of every count that I was charged with, the 11 counts of barratry. And so my goal is to be able to speak out and give voice to those who don't have an opportunity to have the resources to get defense attorneys to represent them. They have to rely on court-appointed attorneys. And there's nothing wrong with court-appointed attorneys, but sometimes you have to be able to get the resources when all the unlimited resources that the state has to bring charges against you. And so it's my humble hope that I can give voice to those who don't have a voice. And that's what I'm here today to do.
I'm afraid for him to speak out, but I understand his passion toward making sure that the system is fair, and it's my humble belief that the black juror that was the whistleblower on outside influences coming into the courtroom, who felt she could still be fair and impartial, is not ostracized in Montgomery County and not targeted. And if she needs to talk to me, Google me, and call me, and I'll help her.
Can you tell me more about that?
Yes, ma'am. When I walked into the court yesterday morning, a black juror, was telling the court and the lawyers alone, without the other jurors, that there were people who were Googling, or I was even say Googling, that there were people who were talking about things that were not a part of the evidence of the case, and it had some influence on her decision. She thought she could still be fair and impartial and continue the sentencing, and she was not treated fairly, I don't think. I think she was retaliated against by the court instead of understood by the court. That I believe she wanted the other jurors to be admonished not to discuss anything that was an outside influence in the future in their deliberations. But that's not what she was met with. She was met with, I think you're not credible. I think that you need to be put off this jury. I think that I need to replace you alternate was another white male. And I don't think that that was fair. And that made Ron had to make a final decision on whether or not the whole jury panel had been poisoned and they would be fair to him, because all of the other jurors at one point heard her say this in front of them, and they all got defensive and angry and looked like a mob to us. And so we didn't believe by their demeanor that they could be fair and impartial, or they would even be cordial to her and respect her right to be there just like their right to be there. She had to protect her right to be there just like them. So we were concerned about that. And we're concerned going forward. We're concerned about any plea deals that include him resigning, because he is not a state representative in Montgomery County. He's a state representative in Fort Bend County, and the voters have elected him, and we believe that the district attorney in Montgomery County needs to deal with what he believes to be a crime, because a jury can't make him get off of the state as a state rep. And we just wish that they would stay in their lane, deal with what they believe to be a crime, and continue their oath of office, which is not to convict, but to see that justice is done, and to look at justice from everybody's standpoint, not just their own. Thank you.
Thank you.